White balance.
What's up, Coach, you had an optional practice today. I'm assuming at this juncture everybody showed up.
So, who showed up is none of your business. But we, we've got a long stretch here, so we got to manage this time right. We got some veteran guys that could use a couple of days of rest. The majority of the guys are here. So, and then we're not sure of the schedule, but tomorrow will be a practice, a regular practice, and then we just kind of will find out as it goes along. When we'll play and who will play.
Outside of the practice time, does it kind of feel like an all-star break, and how do you guard against rust in terms of rest at the same time?
I had a situation like this back in 2004. We had 12 days off. We had a sweep against our first-round opponent, and then we had to wait on a 7-game series. So we'll manage. I mean, we'll make sure we deal with it the right way. We have to mix competitive practices in with the days when we're going to lift and shoot and do those things to kind of recharge. So, but whatever the situation, we'll make the best of it.
It's obvious what you gain, Rick, by having this time. But what could you lose? What can you lose in the interim before you get back on the court?
We don't look at it that way. We don't look at it negatively like that.
I mean, you don't worry. There's no worries that you could. That the only thing that
our job, my job, is to make this period a positive period for us, and that's where we'll direct our energies.
Rick, you've been in the conference finals before with Detroit and Indiana. How was this go around any different, or does it feel kind of the same, even though the guys are different?
This is a more veteran team than the two previous teams, although those teams had veterans as well. But it's a different conference, it's a different period, it's a different time, so it is different, but a lot of things are the same, and we've just got to concentrate on the things that are important, and that is the things that are important to us: playing well, preparing ourselves to be in a position to protect our home court, and continuing to really focus on defense and rebounding, because whoever the next opponent is going to be very formidable up front, and they're going to be quick, and they're going to be a team that can get out in transition. So transition defense, rebounding, those things will be critical.
Did you see anything in that series against the Lakers where you thought we've got to get better in this area going forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we can do better. Next round, we're going to be dealing with quicker athletes, more dynamic athleticism at the guard and wing positions, and so we're going to have to really work at being ready to move our feet, keep these guys in front of us, and then when the ball's in the air, both teams pursue the heck out of it. So again, the rebounding is going to continue to be a big theme in the playoffs.
Do you spend these couple of days watching film on the other teams, or do you spend these days kind of just focusing on your team right now?
Well, this time is useful because we get a chance to study ourselves and whoever the possible opponents are going to be. Watching that series is certainly helpful. You can see some things there. Last night's game was a phenomenal game, just unbelievable. It's how long it was. It reminded me of when I was in high school in 1976, watching the Phoenix-Boston game, which was triple overtime. I remember that very vividly because just one thing after another just kept happening, And I was talking to Donnie Nelson today, and he was an 8th grader, ball boying, and his dad was playing in that game. And he remembered it pretty vividly too. His dad was involved in a lot of big plays in that game. So, it's the playoffs have been great. It's going to continue to get better for viewers and fans, and we're going to have to continue to elevate our game.
Rick, how gratifying is it for you that everything that you worked on this year, stressed, maybe fretted over, is all coming to fruition at exactly the right time for your team?
Well, we haven't done anything yet, so we're not going to get smitten with ourselves. We understand that at this point you got to be very humble. You've got to be very hungry, because we're the kind of group that's we've all been humbled a lot in a lot of different situations, and to be in this position is great, but we've got to proceed the right way.
What did you learn from that experience with the long layoff? Was it 04, as you mentioned?
What I learned?
Yeah, practice schedule-wise or managing guys.
Yeah, I mean, that was a different team. It was a much younger team. And again, we did some. We had some competitive scrimmages and things like that to try to maintain a game edge. At that time we had our arena available at times, so we could actually scrimmage on our arena floor. I don't know that that'll be the case here. I doubt that it will, because this is booked with other things. But we'll be fine. We just got to make sure we're focusing on the right things.
You mentioned the word.
At some point, you have to blow it out with a full-scale scrimmage or something. Can you call in some Spurs or Rockets or something?
Well, we can get it plenty competitive amongst ourselves, and with 14 available guys, we had a really good scout team last round. Our younger guys, they basically were the Lakers, and then before that they were Portland, and they did a great job. And they're those guys. You talk about Roddy and DJ and Brew and Cardinal and Mahimi. Those guys can get up and down the floor. They can and they play with a lot of energy. So they'll be able to simulate a lot of what we'll see. But again, this period is important for both work and for rest, and we've just got to make sure we strike the right balance.
Do you see that series going the distance, and do you give the decisive edge to either team after watching this one?
Look, I've been involved in so many different playoff series. I was involved in a series where the road team won 5 out of 7 games. So I don't know that there's any particular edge other than if you look at home court, but each team's won on the other team's home court. So there's still a lot to be decided there. It's a very interesting series to watch because of the competitive level, and it's two teams that are gaining a lot of experience right now.
Can you enjoy it as a fan, or do you watch it more from an X's and O's perspective?
I enjoy both ways. I was a fan last night. It's something else when you see a game go to 3 overtimes, because it's so emotional. There's so much physical and emotional energy that goes up and down during a game like that, and you got the crowd and everything else. So it's great for our game, and it's great for all of our fans, and both of those teams will become better teams as a result of that game.
You mentioned the word hunger. Is that one of the qualities that you see the most with this group right now, with your team? I mean, you got a lot of really good players on this team that have never won the whole thing. I mean, do you see that hunger? Is it palpable for you when you watch?
Oh no, we're our group is very eager to take advantage of the opportunity to move on, and so but we understand that it's a day-to-day, hour-to-hour proposition, and no one's going to get ahead of themselves, and we're going to make sure that we're very humble in how we approach this thing, but we're going to be aggressive.
Rick, if you had been told back in December that you're going to lose Karan for the season, that Roddy would have 0 minutes played in 2 playoff series, what would you have thought, and where does the credit lie for where you guys are, seeing that those 2 guys have not been and make an impact. Obviously, going beyond J31.
Well, I disagree in one sense. I believe both guys have had an impact. You know, Karan just simply being here every day and doing what he's doing is an incredible source of inspiration for all of us. I mean, I can't even begin to explain to you his positive attitude, the work that he's putting in. He's in here 2-3 times a day. He's now at a point where he's dunking the ball, and he's doing, he's making more and more progress. And so, when he's back, he's going to be back 100%. And timetable-wise, I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I tell you what, it's something that has energized our team really since he took his kneecap and shoved it 4 inches back into place, on January 1st in Milwaukee. I mean, you see a guy do that and get up and walk off the floor on his own power. You're seeing something that you ain't gonna see every day. So, and look, Roddy played well when he played. He struggled toward the end, but he's healthy now, and he's had an impact in our practices. And he's going to have to be ready. His number may be called at some point.
So is this situation, I mean, does Corey earn the right to stay active, or depend on matchups where Roddy could be active again in the next series?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. And now is not the time to talk about who's going to be active or inactive or any of that kind of stuff. But we've got to look at a lot of different factors, and and we will do that. And the matchup with whichever opponent could tip things one way or the other in terms of any of that stuff. So, but right now, we've got 14 healthy guys, and our 15th guy is a guy that we look up to with a great deal of respect.
You ruled Karan out quickly before the Lakers series. Are you in a position to do that again for the next series?
I'm not going to talk about a timetable because I'm not a doctor.
So not really.
I'm not going to comment on it.
Tyson Chandler named to the All-NBA Defensive Second Team. Can you talk about what he's meant to this team this year and changing the defensive attitude?
Well, he's enhanced our defensive attitude. He's enhanced our defensive posture as a team. The honor is well deserved, and I believe he got some votes for Defensive Player of the Year as well. And he's taken us from a team that was in around 11th in defense last year to now we're for the year we were around 8th or 9th, which is a significant increase, and he really has anchored our defense in the playoffs. So, what he's brought has been well documented. And so, going forward, we need him to do more of the same.
You've been around Dirk for a while now. Is this the best you've seen him play?
I can't remember a time when he didn't play great, to tell you the truth. And the misnomer is probably the fact that he gets more attention now that we've advanced 2 rounds than in other years when maybe the team didn't advance or advanced only 1 round. So my hope would be that people would keep that in the right kind of perspective.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you.